Hi, this is Jason from TWL, Time Warp Vintage. Look who I have. I have Steve here.
Hello, everyone.
And I'm here with Steve Shipp at Mythos Museum.
That's right.
And we are in the, I want to say the funeral room?
What's the vintage mortuary section?
The vintage mortuary section. And there's a couple things in this case because we're not showing you everything because you got to come down, you got to take a look and spend some hours here.
You really
right?
have to do that. This is really cool.
Let me get my mic over to you.
Really cool.
There's a lot to see. There's a lot to see.
It's very cool, including the caskets. I mean, there's just a lot here you guys have to see.
Ceremonial skeletons.
Yeah, the ceremonial, the mason.
It's Knights of Pythias.
Knights of Pythias. I mean, there's stuff here that you want to see, trust me. And you come into our store, you've seen our oddity section. This makes our oddity section look this big.
Well, it's because I got a lot of my stuff down there at the store. So
yes.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
But not this stuff. This stuff is cool. Tell me, there is something about this down here. This is a shrunken head, right?
This is a shrunken head.
Okay.
But there's a strange story behind this. So I got to preface it with that. Please. Well, I have to tell you right off the rip, it was a museum reproduction.
Okay.
So that's what makes this story strange. So the first night I was open, somebody came up to the counter and he says, "Sir, do you know there's one of your human skulls breathing on the glass?" And I was so busy. I'm like, "Really?" And so they went and did their thing. And I had a little lull in the business. So I left from behind the counter. I come, I'm looking at all these skulls and I don't see anything. And I'm checking them all out. I come to walk out and lo and behold, there was some fog on the glass. And it would actually come and go. It would get smaller, bigger. There's no explanation for it. So I'm telling these people that a group came in after, and I'm telling the group about it. I'm like, "Look at this." And so this group of people said, "Hey, we're paranormal investigators. Do you care if we bring some equipment in?" And I'm like, "No, go ahead." So they came in, and it was like this little Connects device, and you'd look at a screen, and it would show a stick figure over any human or any human form in the room kind of thing. But so he's scanning the room, and all of us humans are appearing on screen, and it's putting a little stick figure over us, and we can see it on screen. So he's looking around the room, but it didn't appear under any of those skeletons or anything. But he put it over this, and sure enough, there was a little dancing stick figure, and he could move it away, put it back, and it would appear.
Did he mention if he knew how old it was?
Well, that's the thing. I said, "But sir," he goes, "Well, I believe that thing's haunted." I'm like,
"Okay.
Why would a spirit, if there is going to be such a thing that could happen, why would he interject himself into a museum reproduction?" And he goes, "Well, I've seen spirits in grand pianos, and I mean, I don't know, but all I know is definitely there's this, and there's been other creepy things that have happened in here."
I think it's funny that he locks himself behind glass.
yeah, but ever since for about 2 months now, the steam doesn't appear on the glass anymore. I'm interested to see once more people start coming through if the energy in this place picks up. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And this is a museum reproduction, like you said.
Yep.
Do you know how old it is as a reproduction?
I do not.
Out of curiosity?
My business partner, that's his stuff. He would know the date he acquired it, but I know he's had it for as long as I've known him.
Because I know reproductions doesn't necessarily mean that it's brand new. It could have been reproduced in 1950.
That's true.
You never know.
And I don't really know that history on that.
It could have been a reproduction from the 1800s because the shrunken heads have been,
that's true.
You know, in tribal culture for generations.
And that's the truth, because that's what the thing. A lot of the stuff in this room, I don't know the traveling history.
Right.
Like, you know, these are, you know, actual
tribal skulls.
Tribal skulls. You know,
cannibalistic tribal skulls.
Right on.
And I believe there are reproductions as well? Or
no,
these are originals from tribes, most South American tribes that happen in Brazil, stuff like that. They have the cannibalistic tribes. And these are heads, and you can tell that they're tribal and ceremonial skulls because of the markings that are on the
the adorned carvings on them.
Which are really cool. And, you know, it's common for the jawline to be gone because they're not connected, so you don't always find them. But those are pretty cool. And as you guys can see, just in this one case, there's enough here. You've got, I mean, these are probably porcupine quills.
Yeah.
You know, that they would dress it with. What were you
There'd be some freaky stuff up in here.
There is. But, I mean, the snake, there's another tribal head up here.
That's a little bit of voodoo.
Voodoo. So, you know, voodoo for you, too. And so, this is just, like I said, one case.
And just show the human transplant.
The human transplant.
Faces.
You know,
Yeah,
this is just
it's
two.
a little macabre, but it actually is talking about some of the history of the first phase transplant.
Which was
heart
only
transplant.
2010.
Yeah.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
So there's a lot here, you guys, and go on their website, which is mythos.com.
Mythosmuseum.com.
Mythosmuseum.com. And find out their hours, and you can buy tickets online. You can buy tickets at Erebus or on the Erebus site.
If anyone's going to Erebus, they can look. I partnered with them. They can buy a combo ticket, $5 discount. We're open from noon to 6 p.m. We're debating on Thursday, but definitely Friday through Sunday. Right now it's Thursday through Sunday, noon to 6. And then any day that Erebus is open, we're open 6 to 11 p.m.
And I know the last time I went to Erebus, we get here early because there is a line to get in. Even if you've got a ticket online, there can be a line. And so you get here early to park. So the best thing, to come down a couple hours early and spend your time at Mythos.
That's right.
And Erebus is right next door.
Yeah, literally. My parking lot touches their building.
Right next door. So
Tis the season to check it out.
It is.
Come on down. We'll take care of you.
And there's a lot to look here, and it's not all macabre. It's not all scary, bloody stuff or tribal. From natural history.
Yeah, we have a natural history section, automobile memorabilia, some Lord of the Rings figures. There's thousands of them. Those are on display.
Small miniature painted figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the masks.
And there's a room full of rubber masks from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yep.
So there's a lot to do. So we're going to do a couple more spots so that you guys can see just a few more things, because we're not going to give it all away, because we want you to come down. We want you to spend some time here. We want you to pick up a Fear Finder.
Yeah, Fear Finder posters.
Poster.
The actual Fear Finder publications no longer in publication, but we do have all the past covers here in poster format, full-blown color. They're for sale here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you.
And
it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And we'll be back in a minute.
Mythos is a museum of curiosities and oddities with an eclectic collection of wondrous items, decades in the making. Our vast collection of Halloween and horror memorabilia spans over 80 years, including hundreds of Halloween masks on display. See some of the largest prehistoric skulls and many other natural history specimens. Explore legends and folklore with Bigfoot tracks and evidence of other mysterious cryptid creatures. With a touch of macabre intrigue, you can tour our vintage mortuary and funeral home section. See real human skulls and bones, along with tools of the trade for preserving and honoring bodies after death. At Mythos, you'll see fact, fiction, folklore, and more about these items. It will be up to you to decide your final truth.
Hi, Jason here at Time Warp and Time Warp Live, and as you can see, we're not at the store. We're here, and I'm here with Steve Shipp.
Here I am.
And you all know who this is, don't you? Fear Finder? Come on. If you grew up in Michigan, you know the Fear Finder, right? Every Halloween it came out, and you are the artist.
I was from 2004, and before that, I was always searching for myself, like frequent Taco Bells and stuff. And then it was so cool. I found the owner, Ed Trebus, owns Fear Finder, and it had all the haunts and stuff in it. And I was always going to those haunts. And I asked him if I could take a crack at the cover. When he asked me, and I did the first one, and the rest was kind of history.
Well, that's awesome. And we're standing in front of, and I'll tell you where we are in a moment, but we're standing in front of your collection of Fear Finders here.
Yeah, these are all.
Now, are these all your artwork?
Except the very first ones before I ever touched the paper. Some of these are.
Okay, so this is the first one.
Those, pre-Steve Shipp.
That's pre-Steve Shipp. You can see the difference in them.
Yeah, and these are.
Yeah, they almost look like old movie photos.
Yeah,
almost
kinda.
back then. Now they become more animated, more.
Yeah, and then that was the first hand illustrated one. I was just learning Photoshop. It was a big
That
deal
is
for me.
awesome.
So I kind of inked it and colorized it, and that was the very first year I did it.
That is awesome. Now, and then as you can see the progression of them and how much more cool they get. I mean, with the ghosts and the chainsaws and stuff, which is,
And we really had to kind of push the limit. Like, because Taco Bell was like, oh, we don't want a bunch of scary stuff. So it was kind of hard sneaking in a chainsaw killer in, but we did it.
But you did
so
it.
we had the Taco Bell logo, and they allowed it in. I guess we made it passive enough.
Well, that's cool. So I'm holding one. Your wife picked it out, and it's her favorite cover.
That was one of my favorite, too.
Was it?
Yeah, the Headless Horseman, all
So,
the colors. And
Tell me, what was your inspiration for this one?
Well, Erica, my wife, and I were talking about it, and she said it'd be cool if you did something legendary. And
Sleepy Hollow.
oh yeah, so we were like, oh, what about Sleepy Hollow? And that's the dynamic illustration kind of thing. I wanted to layer it to show the chase and move it forward through it with a little bit of 3D moving through there. So
now this was a magazine, am I correct?
yeah, it had 48 pages. It was a smaller publication than the poster.
Right.
We just always got the posters printed so you could actually see the full color instead of just on the newsprint.
Right.
Just show off the full
Is the
color.
magazine still being made?
No, ever since COVID came through, a lot of the hunts went out of business. There's still a lot of awesome, long-standing hunts still available, but there was not really enough to advertise, so everyone kind of started doing it on their own.
Awesome, and they can buy these here.
That's right. We have all the old Fear Finder covers as posters like this, and
That is
we have
awesome.
them all for sale.
And if you're here, you would sign it for them.
Absolutely.
Well, that's awesome. You can also pick some up at Time Warp, because we do have some at Time Warp that are signed by Steve, which is pretty cool. And later you'll be able to see some of the stuff that he got at our store as well. But we are standing at, say it for me,
Mythos
Museum in Pontiac, and it has been your labor of love.
That's a good description. Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure.
And you are in down. So why Pontiac?
Well, I have a good friend down here. I do a lot of the marketing, advertising things at Erebus Haunted Attraction, and Ed, my business partner, bought this building, and he knew I actually had a traveling museum. So in 2003, and I would travel to different shows, but it got to be a pain, and I kind of packed it away. And so when he asked me, I actually had a huge mask collection in my basement, and I collect all kinds of stuff. So when Ed said he had this kind of space, we just kind of said, hey man, why don't we put our stuff together and open up a museum? And that's exactly what we did.
That's awesome, because if you guys come into Mythos Museum in Pontiac, go on mythosmuseum.com, and you can find the hours and the address to come in. And you mirrored your hours to?
We did. We're open all year long, but through the Halloween season, all the way through November 2nd, we're kind of mirroring the hours up to 11 p.m. that, Erebus is open. We've opened a little bit later. So usually we open from noon to 6, but through the season, then we open from 6 to 11 p.m. as well.
That's awesome. So they can go get scared and come here, or they can come here while they're waiting to go get scared.
Yeah, they always come in here a little jumpy after, but it's all right.
That's
Just
awesome.
don't go any, and don't go by anything sharp.
Don't go crazy in here.
Yeah. But they always come in here thinking it's a continuation of the scare after they leave that place. So, but it's not. We won't get you.
So should they buy tickets online, or can they buy them at the door?
Yeah, you can buy tickets at the door.
Okay.
You can buy tickets online, but we're offering a $5 discount for anyone that shows up with an Erebus ticket. So when they leave, if they come over, they present their ticket, we give them $5 off. Or you can buy it as that way as well, right on Erebus's website too. They've attached my ticket sales to there.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So awesome, because there's a lot here, and I know you have more plans for this place in the future.
Oh yeah.
But there's like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms?
Oh, there's
6, 7 rooms.
Yeah, it's divided into a lot of sections. Yeah. So yeah, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that'd be equate to about 6 rooms.
Yeah.
Because some of it's just divided up.
And they're packed. It's packed full of such great stuff.
Oh, thanks, man. It was a labor of love.
So awesome. So we're going to be doing a couple more shots throughout here. We're not going to show you guys everything, because you need to come in and take a look. We're just going to show you a few highlights to wet your whistle, so that way you can come in and spend an hour or so here before you jump over there to Erebus, or you come afterwards, or just come for Mythos.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, come down, take as much time as you want here. We got a lot of information to look at, a lot of cool stuff.
Cool. And we'll see you soon.
Looking forward to it.
Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen is really all about the conversations that you have around that cup of coffee. It is serious topics sometimes that are awkward and hard to talk about, whether it's about opioid addiction, grief, divorce, or as lighthearted as the latest home trends in wallpaper or National Coffee Day. It is a show that I created because there are so many topics out there that people want to talk about and want to know about. One of them, based on my grandfather, is Halfway to 100, which is about caring for our elderly loved ones and getting the help they need. Also, not just for them, but for their caregivers. That has been a very important aspect of this show, as is Women in Business and Great Lakes Made. That is where we highlight companies all around Michigan. And of course, we've got the mom moments and we've got the coffee of the day. And one thing I never expected to come out of this show is because it is live and not my mom's basement. People end up meeting one another, talking, and there's even been some collaborations that have come out of the show. Of course, we feature a nonprofit every month because that is such an important sector to all of our lives, whether we realize it or not. So Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen is kind of a conglomerate of all of those things, and you'll get a few laughs. You may even cry a few tears, but I promise you will always have an amazing conversation. Join us Monday, 10 a.m. Join us Monday at 10 a.m. Join us Mondays at 10 a.m.
Hey, Jason from TWL. I'm sorry, I just stuttered because one of the masks across just caught my attention, the dripping. Yeah, right. Yeah. Anyways, I'm standing in front of nostalgia, complete nostalgia, right?
That's right. It's a blast from the past, a little bit of our childhood in there. There's a little something in there that almost everybody remembers.
I remember in the 70s when my dad would take us to Kmart. And we got to pick out the costume we wanted, and they came in boxes like this. But I don't remember seeing these cool ones, like the bat one up there and stuff. But these are so cool. Do you get a lot of people who just stand here in memory?
Oh, for sure. And they talk about the mask that used to scratch your little face off when you're trick-or-treating. But yeah, and a lot of people always see something, because I got another whole case across the way there of them. But a lot of people remember, yeah, I had that one. And I had a couple of them, too.
Oh, I wonder if some of the ones that I were down there. I didn't realize they were down there, too. Oh, yeah. And then you have the old trick-or-treat bags, which I think is cool. And you got some of this stuff from Time Warp. I know that.
Oh, I sure did. Yep.
And then down here, you've got the games and the candy. So was this something of your idea to put in because of the nostalgia? Because I know you come into our store and you look around.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that was just it. I found a lot of this scattered throughout your place, other people's places, flea markets, and it wasn't really a main theme of it all, except it all meant something from our past, like a cool bit of nostalgia. So that was the idea behind this.
And what I like is when you walk into a museum and you've got natural history stuff and you've got mortuary stuff and stuff like that, and that's all great. But the natural history stuff, we're not going to remember that because that's dinosaurs and that's stuff like that. But when you have something where people actually stop and go, "Oh my, that was when I was a kid," that's gotta mean something to you.
Yeah, for sure. You can see it resonate with them, and it happens a lot when people leave this section. They come out and go, "Oh my gosh, I was like reliving my childhood in there." And that was exactly what I hoped for. So it's kind of cool.
And I think it's cool owning a vintage and antique store that I walk into a museum and that has natural history stuff in it. And I see stuff that not only do we sell, but stuff that I remember wearing when I was a kid or that I remember seeing my brothers wear. I think that's the coolest thing. So, I've got to tell this story too. One of the times that you would come in our store a couple of years ago, you were collecting little bones and stuff like that because you had something in your mind you were going to do. Mm-hmm. And that stuck with me because I thought it was a great idea to have them. They were doing excavation or something you wanted them to do, like kids.
Yeah, it was going to be like a little sideshow thing. I was going to reassemble some bones like they had been found just for educational purposes, for sure.
And the kids were going to do a little archaeology dig.
Dig around, and you get to have a little fun digging around and reassemble some stuff.
So that's cool because you have an outdoor area that may be out, coming to fruition in the future at some point.
Education area out in the courtyard. It's a private courtyard, big wall around it, nice trees and shade, and we're going to look to do some educational stuff out there.
I think that's awesome. And, when you guys see this room, you're going to go nuts. And they're going to pan the room real quick. And this is the only time that you guys are going to see any type of a room pan in this museum because you need to get down here. And this is not even going to this isn't going to do justice for anyone, is it?
No, it doesn't. A lot of people, when they come in here, they're in awe. This used to be in my basement, believe it or not. This was on my walls in my basement.
All these masks were on your walls in the basement?
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. That is so cool. I love it. So we have so much for you guys to come down and take a look at. A little known fact, because we do own a vintage and antique store. You know, their misprints are always increase the value of something. The fact that these can be worth some money, because not only you've got cross collectible here, you've got Halloween, you've got Halloween in their original boxes, complete original boxes, which adds huge money to it, almost half its value. But then you have some that have been misprinted, meaning that these are all flame retardant, right? And as you can see that you've got one up here where it says flame retardant fabrics, but then they did a big, huge misprint in the 70s where they did it as they left the N off, which left it saying flame retarded, unfortunately. And so by doing something like that, which gives you a secondary market of collectability in when you're dealing with misprints, which is pretty cool. And this cabinet is a good indication of what it's supposed to say and what it ended up saying, which is pretty cool.
Oh, thanks for that, man. That's cool. I never heard that. That's cool.
So even though, you know, it's an interesting concept, and when you deal with records and stuff like that, misprints increase the value. Something like that could too. It's pretty cool. But Steve, thank you so much for taking the time. And first of all, I got to say, my name is Jason, and they have a Friday the 13th section over there with the masks and everything. They're down low. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them. But the Camp Crystal Lake autographed masks are really cool that you guys can take a look at. But you have to come down and take a look, because what we've shown you today isn't even 5% of this.
You got to see it to fully comprehend it, for sure.
Absolutely. But anyways, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for allowing us into your museum and showing us an amazing collection. And your art is astounding. I have to tell you that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It was really great having you. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, when you have things happening in the future, give us a call. We'll come out. We'll cover it for you.
Awesome.
It'd be pretty cool.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And we will see you guys at the store. It starts typing. Hey, everybody. So I'm standing here with Steve Shipp from Mythos Museum, and we are in front of one of the cases that has some really cool stuff, Steve. I mean, where do you get your stuff that you have for your museum?
Well, I've been combing antique markets, flea markets, local places. Time Warp's one of those places. Actually, a lot of these old 8mm I got at your place.
Those are so cool. So this just ties in with the look of your museum, right?
Oh, for sure. This is the old vintage Halloween section. There's like this media type stuff, and then there's the case here filled with cool old models and old horror figures, things like that, some Vincent Price memorabilia. But yeah.
So I'm not going to show you this case because you need to go online to mythosmuseum.com, get some tickets, and come in and see it. It's so cool. So you've got local affiliation with, who is this?
Well, actually, that's one of the props from the Ghoul Show. That's actually Froggy. That was made by Dave Ivey. He's passed on. But we honor his memory here. We got some of his work on display. Got some signed Ghoul posters.
Well, that is so cool. And so some of these, and you know, we're with Time Warp Live, and he is one of our customers. He comes in and he has graciously opened the door for us to show you the types of things he has. He did pick up some of these movies from us. And like he said, he does local vintage stores, local antique stores.
Yep.
All sorts of stuff. You got the Gremlins up there. I hear they're making another movie.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think I got some records from you guys too in the back there. But yeah, it is a lot of work combing and scouring places to find this stuff.
Yeah, I see the Ghoul right there.
Oh yeah.
Thursday, April 18th at 8 o'clock. That is funny. And you have a case that is pretty much Wolfgang Mack.
Yeah, Wolfman Matt Kelly, good friends, good guy. Detroit's own Wolfman Mack. He put his actual Boney Bob, the original one from the shows, on display, and a lot of his original storyboards are here on display from his artists that were helping him with the show. A lot of the original scripts, the whole case dedicated to Wolfman Mack.
I said Wolfgang. Wolfman Mac. Oh, and look, we have some customers coming in. So I'm going to bring somebody over and ask them what they think of the museum. Come on in. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Katie.
Come on over here, Katie, so people can see you. And
I'm Joe.
Joe. So Katie and Joe. So you guys, can you see them on there? Here. Okay. So Katie and Joe, you came to the museum. So what's the occasion that brought you to the museum?
Well, it's our anniversary today, and we thought nothing better than to celebrate it with some spooky stuff. And we just absolutely love this museum. We love the time warp, and there's just so many like nooks and crannies and just amazing things to see.
So that's cool. So Katie, what's your favorite part of the museum?
Oh, so many parts. I love the horror movie section, but I also really liked the mortuary collection, seeing all the old tools and utensils that the doctors and morticians used to use, and all the bones. There's so much to look at. I could be here all day.
That is so cool. So, how about yours? What's your favorite?
Oh, I love this mask room. There's just so many amazing masks. There's a really cool index to tell you exactly what all the masks are from. It's just incredible.
So, what a way to spend your anniversary, right? A little FYI, it's mine too. So, so anyways, well, thank you. Go on, enjoy.
Thank you.
Steve, come on back.
Will do. Thank you.
So, see, that's so cool.
Thank you so much.
I mean, for their anniversary, this is a great place, you guys, to come, and especially if you have any type of love for either natural history or horror or just the medical arts in general.
Yeah, there's a little something here for everybody. We have even some automobile history. I got some really cool even literature, books. There's a little something here for everybody. Yeah, my natural history section is pretty extensive. The vintage mortuary section that she was talking, this vintage Halloween section. Yeah, I won't give it all away, but yeah, there's a lot here.
Yeah, and we are going to do another interview with him in a different location, but it's not going to show you much because we want to make sure that you come down here, you go on to mythosmuseum.com, and that you pick up some tickets, and you have a special going on.
Yeah, we do. We're open right now. If you look at the website, Thursday through Sunday, we're open noon to 6. And then through the Halloween season, we partnered with our neighbors next door, Erebus Haunted Attraction. So if you're going on their website, you can buy a ticket for a discount on their website. We honor it at the door. We're open till 11 p.m. any night Erebus is open. And, you bring on, if you went through and you didn't buy your ticket online, just bring me your ticket stub. We'll still give you the discount at the door.
That is so awesome that you partner with other local establishments like Erebus.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand. So, I've been to Erebus a couple of times, and you stand in line. So get here early, and even if you've got tickets, park, and come on and spend an hour in here before your time to go into Erebus is, or come in after, because this is really something. I mean, there's something everywhere. The masks up there.
Right on. Yeah, and a lot of people really do love it after the haunt because it kind of bums them out when the night's over. This just extends that we kind of amped up a little bit of spookiness in here to extend the night for them. So
What's your favorite section?
Natural history.
Why is that?
I grew up a science kid. I love dinosaurs. I'm still a big kid. I still like going into that room and looking at stuff and dreaming about what they would have been like when they were alive. So that's definitely my favorite section.
And I'm not going to show you that section because you're going to have to come in and take a look at it. But there is dinosaur stuff.
Oh, yeah. There's dinosaur skulls, prehistoric predators. There's saber-toothed cat skulls, cave bear skulls. I got a woolly rhino skull, a bunch of stuff in there.
That is so cool. And then like I said, you're going to see another interview with us. This whole show is going to be around Mythos Museum. So it's pretty cool. So anyways, jump on the website, take a look. There's a few little pictures on there, but you need to come down to really experience Addams Family game.
Oh, yeah.
That is awesome.
I remember playing that game.
Do you really? And the Dracula game?
I never got to play that one. I just admired the artwork, but I definitely played the Addams Family game.
I was talking.
I might break it out in a while if you want.
Oh, there you go. I was talking to the gentleman who came up here who was shopping. He remembers having that game, he said.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that cool? That's the one thing. When people leave this section, it really sparks nostalgia for them. Everybody leaves here is like, oh, my gosh, I saw that when I was a kid, or I had that mask, and it just takes them right back to that trick-or-treating or those nights playing board games and things like that. It's pretty cool.
The Marks Monsters, is that Marks? Those are Marks, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah, some of those are originals, some of them are reproductions, but yeah, for sure.
I mean, so cool. So you guys have come down and check it out. So we will be right back after this, okay? Stop it.